Hi guys, Rabbi Cooper, Cam Sports. A number of years ago, I was on a flight heading to LA, sitting next to this very large 6'5" Aryan guy. And as the flight proceeded, I needed to go wash to eat some bread. So I got up from my seat, go to the bathroom, and next thing you know, after washing, not being able to talk, I'm stuck behind the lady with the cart, the stewardess. I'm standing there hoping that I can get back to my seat, but I can't really ask her to move, so I'm waiting, and all of a sudden I see flying through the air over my shoulder is a roll. I catch it, I see it came from my seat, take a bite out of it, I ask the stewardess to step to the side, and I go to my seat. Who threw it? That Aryan guy. Turns out he was a Jew. Sometimes you sit next to someone and you don't realize they're Jewish. In the Megillah that we're going to read tomorrow night, we see the story of the Jewish people at the party of Achashverosh. They are eating their hearts out, great wine, great meat, barbecuing on a very large grill, and they're there for one reason, because they're trying to make some connections, some ties to the government, hoping that they'll be able to stay alive, because they think God has abandoned them. So that's where they're at the party, and they're discouraged from going. Mordechai, the Jew, tells them, don't go. But they go anyways. Because you know what? They're on their own now. If God abandoned them, they have to do what they can, and they're trying to make their connections. So, in Parak Gimel, we find a strange story. Mordechai, the Jew, happens to be a royal advisor, the Gemara tells us. He's close with the king. Actually, he knows Haman very well. They go back a number of years together, and ends up happening that Haman makes a decree. All Jews must bow, everyone must bow to him. Well, you know what happens eventually? Mordechai, who's a royal advisor, he's sitting by the gates, and he refuses to bow. The pasuk describes V'chol avdei ma'melech asher b'shar melech. Everyone's bowing down to Haman. Korim mishtachavim laHaman, because that's what he commanded. Mordechai lo yichor v'lishtachaveh. He didn't bow. 3 psukim later, every day he wouldn't bow. He wouldn't bow. Finally, the pasuk writes, "Vayagidu laHaman yihigid lahem asher hu Yehudi." Mordechai tells the people around Haman that he's a Jew, and therefore he's not bowing. Vayar Haman ki ein Mordechai kori v'shtachaveh lo. Now he sees that he's not bowing, and he gets upset. Later, the Gemara writes that Esther says to Mordechai, "Stop it already. Just listen to Haman. What's going on? Why should it be that Haman all of a sudden is bothered by the fact that Mordechai is a Jew? You knew Mordechai was a Jew. You knew Mordechai wasn't bowing to you. He was a royal advisor. You knew him for a long time, and all of a sudden you're bothered by the fact he's not bowing to you? He hasn't been bowing to you for days. And all of a sudden, for day after day, he's not bowing to you. All of a sudden, it says, he got upset because Mordechai the Jew isn't bowing." So the Kedushas Levi says an interesting, fascinating insight. He says the truth is that Mordechai was a royal advisor. Mordechai did not have to bow. In fact, the Torah writes that was part of the Mordechai lo yichor v'lo yishtachaveh. Mordechai didn't have to bow. But when questioned why he's not bowing, Mordechai said, "I'm not bowing. Ki higid lahem asher hu Yehudi. I'm not bowing because I'm a Jew. I know I don't have to bow because I'm royalty. I know I'm a royal advisor. I don't need to bow. But that's not why I'm not bowing. I'm not bowing because I'm a Jew. And Jews don't bow to another man. Jews only bow to God." That's what got Haman upset. Because he was saying, "I'm a Jew and I'm proud. And I will not bow. I don't care if every other Jew you're saying has to bow to you. I don't care if you're saying everyone has to bow to you, but I'm a Jew. I'm not bowing to you for any other reason other than the fact that because I'm a Jew, that's why I'm not bowing. Not because I'm a royal advisor and exempt, but because I am a Jew." This Dvar Torah reminded me of a camp sports great. There was once a phenomenal basketball player in camp sports. He was a 10th grader who would dunk in his flip-flops. Unbelievable player who eventually started on his public school team in New York. A tough team, a great team. He was a starting point guard. And so I was told the story by his brother recently that he was one time hanging out in front of the school with all the players in the team, all different races, all different guys. Some look scarier than others, wearing a yarmulke with such pride, so comfortable with who he was, standing amongst a crowd of non-Jews. And there was a Jewish businessman, worked in the financial district of Wall Street, who was driving by, dropping off his son in public school, and he saw this guy, call him Moshe, wearing yarmulke, and suddenly he realized that if Moshe can wear a yarmulke in public school, I should wear a yarmulke in my workplace. And from that day forward, he wore a yarmulke in his workplace. You never realize, being proud as a Jew, the impact it's going to have on other people. You never realize when you decide to act with pride about being a Jew, how that's going to impact other people around you. Mordechai said, I'm not bowing because I'm a Jew. And ultimately, that triggered Haman's anger, and ultimately was the catalyst to change history. The decree of the destruction of the Jewish people ultimately started, it seemed, at that moment where Haman got upset at Mordechai. But really, that was the starting point of the downfall of the enemy of the Jewish people. When you show that you are proud about being a Jew, about doing mitzvos, that impacts you and impacts people around you. In this time of Purim, I wish you all a happy Purim, a freilichen Purim, and may we all be able to recognize and be proud of who we are, be proud of being a Jew, and celebrate this time of happiness together. Looking forward to see you back this coming summer in Camp Sport 2012, and if not, please keep in touch. All the best, Rabbi Cooper.